Hello and welcome to the Loan Officer Wealth Podcast. This podcast takes you behind the scenes of very successful mortgage businesses across North America and shares with you the strategies, systems, marketing, and philosophies of these businesses and takes you behind the scenes of the structures of how these business owners are building such incredible mortgage businesses. Our goal with this podcast is to help you understand how to create and grow a mortgage business that makes you truly wealthy. And that includes both the money and the time that you need to truly live a life of freedom. Now, during these interviews, I look to pull out at least 3 incredibly valuable and life-changing tips from each guest, and they tend to show up near the end of each episode for some reason. So make sure you stay to the end. And when you find value in one of our episodes, please take the time to head on over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star rating and review. It makes a big impact on our ability to continue to attract top performers and give you incredible value on the show. So thank you for listening to the Loan Officer Wealth Podcast. My name is Chris Johnstone. I'm your host. Let's get started on getting you one step closer to wealth in your mortgage business. And hello, everybody. We are blessed today with the one and only Irene Duford. Irene, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me, Chris. I love being on this show with you.
Awesome. Well, so Irene, you are a coach in the Freedom Club, and I'm really looking forward to this episode of just kind of, having a conversation about your role in taking loan officers from where they are now to that new life of freedom and, free time, more money, business systems, all those wonderful things. Mm-hmm. So let's dive in. So I guess first off, introduce yourself to people and kind of give them your background, how long you've been with the Freedom Club, and really what is the Freedom Club to you?
Yes. So we started the Freedom Club, Carl and I and Tammy started the Freedom Club in 2012. I came to him with the idea of one-on-one coaching. Carl had the mortgage marketing animals, but there weren't one-on-one coaches yet. So I had this idea that I really wanted to coach people. So I went to Carl with the idea and he said, come up with a plan and let's take a look at it. So I did. I spent the next 3 months working full-time in my mortgage business and coming up with the daily success plan, a whole mapped out plan of how to coach loan officers one-on-one to succeed and to double and triple their business. So I came up with that plan. He said, I like it. Let's try it. So we tried it for free with 6 people at the very beginning for 90 days. And we came up with great results. And so then we started the Freedom Club and that's how it went. And now I'm coaching 33 people and I get to do what I love to do, which is helping people see their strengths, their potential, and help them get there to what they want to accomplish in life. And that started in 2012. So it's been a while now.
Wow, that is amazing. And to see the club grow to, I don't even know how many coaches there are, but everybody, following that same plan, but working with each individual member to get to their specific goal of what they feel freedom is just incredible. It's amazing to see what has been built.
It's so fun. I don't even feel like I work. I love talking to people. I love helping them, being on the journey with them and helping them. And I love when I see them, their eyes bright. They're bright, they light up and you can just tell that either they're getting more freedom, they're also bringing in more business, they're spending more time with their families, their loved ones, and just feeling good about themselves. And that's what I love to do.
That is amazing. So now you mentioned the daily success plan there. Very quickly, can you outline for people what the daily success plan is and why it's so powerful?
Yes, the daily success plan is an actual plan every day. It's a tracker. And what we do is on Monday, we focus on agents and these are phone calls that we're making. So the daily success plan is it's really 3 things. It's making outbound phone calls where we have a call to action, or having a call to action all the time is important. But Monday, we concentrate on agents. And Tuesday, we concentrate on people in the process, all the people in the process. We're calling them with a call to action, giving them an update, but also asking them for referrals because the ask is very important, right?
Then that's the Just Ask campaign,
The
right?
Just Ask campaign, yes. And
Awesome.
Wednesday is past clients. We're calling our past clients and asking them for referrals. And then Thursday, it's pre-approved and looking, what we call the PAL calls, pre-approved and looking. So we focus on those things during those 4 days. And then Friday, we ask everybody to take the day off. Now, some of them don't. Sometimes they use them as a planning day, a Friday, and some people do take every Friday off. It's up to them what they want to accomplish. But the daily success plan basically is phone calls, handwritten, personalized notes, and face-to-face or Zoom meeting appointments. With COVID, of course, it was Zoom meeting appointments. But it's basically getting together, writing handwritten notes, and making phone calls.
And structuring the time to do that. And the thing that I love about it is those are the majority of the activities that actually move the needle and bring in business for loan officers. And most, when they join the program, aren't doing those money-making activities. They're spending the majority of their time in the busy work.
That's right. Most of them
So,
are putting fires out and things.
yeah. So can you think of an example of somebody that you feel really, for our listeners, would embody that change that you see in a loan officer who comes in and decides that, hey, discipline is a tough word because nobody likes to have discipline in their life, but that's what it takes to be successful. Can you give me an example of somebody where they came in, put those systems in place, and what type of results they got?
Yes. God, there's so many examples, Chris, but I can think of one, Youssef. Youssef came in a couple of years ago. In fact, on the 22nd, it'll be 2 years ago that he came in. He
Oh,
sat in
wow.
Nashville and went through a 3-day boot camp with Carl and the rest of us. And he decided to join. And so he joined, and I'm telling you, he did everything that we asked him to do. He followed the plan. He built a team. He has an amazing rock star team now. Didn't start out that way. He had to build it one step at a time. And he's taken time off. He's saved money because we asked them to save money, a certain percentage, and he's done that. He's made a ton of money. He's very happy with his income, but of course not happy enough because he always wants to be pushing himself to do more. But he
Yes.
has a great team. He takes Fridays off. He takes weekends off, and he has people to handle things when he's gone now. But it didn't start out that way. And I think he's quadrupled his business in two
Wow.
years. It hasn't been just double. It's been more than that, but
In
he's
just
done
two
it
years.
in the 2 years. And it hasn't even been a full 2 years yet. On the 22nd of August, it'll be 2 years. And so I'm really, really proud of him. He's done a great job, but he's bought in to the coaching. He's all in.
Yeah.
And that is what's made the difference for him, is he's all in. He's also he challenges himself a lot. He's he's a champion mentality. But you know what? Everyone in the Freedom Club has that champion mentality, or they wouldn't be in the Freedom Club, because we attract great people. But it's putting the effort in, changing some things that need to be changed, little tweaks here and there. And they don't
Yep.
have to happen overnight. It's step by step. If Youssef was here right now, he'd be telling you it is step by step. And sometimes you feel like you're taking a few steps back in order to make even more strides in your life. And so I'm super proud of him. He's done a great job.
That is amazing. And those, it's the little hinges that swing those big doors.
Yes.
So when Yusuf came in, so what did he have a team? Was he an individual producer? What did that look like?
He was part of another team. He's part of a bigger team.
Okay.
And he was a sole loan officer. And I can't remember if he already had an assistant or not, but I know we've built an even bigger team over the last 2 years. So when he came in, I'm trying to remember if he was plugged in to a system, to a loan partner, or if he had I think he had the loan partner already.
Excellent. Okay. So can you guide me through the steps that he went through in order to build the team around him and go from the individual firefighting that so many of us in the mortgage business do every single day to get to a point where he's not working evenings, not working weekends, taking every Friday off? Like, that is nirvana for
Yes.
many of our listeners here today. It sounds almost unattainable, yet it's commonplace here in the Freedom Club. So can you walk me through what those steps are that he went through to get from where he was to where he went to?
Yes. So the first thing is just being open and willing to say, what do I need to do?
Yeah.
Guide me through it. And then that's exactly what we did. We made a plan, and he got his first hire, and then he got his second hire. And we had to make sure that these people were rock stars, because
Yes.
if you hire somebody that's not a rock star, it's not going to work the same way. And some people choose to train their people. It just takes them longer to get up
Yep.
and running. Well, he had somebody great who takes his applications and things like that, and that freed him up. But what he had to do was let go. That's
Yeah.
the hardest part, I think, for most loan officers. Hire the right person and bring them in, let them hear how you talk to people, let them get a little bit of your flavor, I like to call it, so that they're communicating the same way you are. And then let them take things one at a time, and let them do things. And then you can always double check with them, make sure they're doing okay, if they have any questions, anything like that. And then you have to let go. That's
Yeah.
the hardest part for loan officers, is letting go. And it just happens one step at a time. Trust.
Absolutely. And so for somebody who's listening that thinks like, oh, okay, I had a loan officer assistant and they just came into my business, they messed everything up and I had to do it all myself anyway. What would you say to that, to somebody who's now hesitant to hire that person or hesitant to grow a team because they feel like nobody can do it as well as I can?
Yeah. And most people find out that the person that they bring in that's a rock star can do it better than they can. But for the person who doesn't think they can, because they've had past experiences, it's just like having a haircut. If you go to somebody and they cut your hair and they do a really bad job, you're not going to stop getting your hair cut, right? You're
Right.
just going to go to somebody that knows what they're doing. And it's the same way when you're bringing a team member on. You just have to let them go. If they're not doing the job that you need them to do, or it's just not a good fit, you need to be able to let them go and let them go back to whatever they need to be doing that's going to bring them joy.
Yep. But I tell you, Irene, no matter how many barbers I go to, I don't get any more on top. I keep changing barbers.
Yeah.
But
I wish we could get perfection, right?
yeah, but you're absolutely right. And even if that person can do it 80% as well as you can, to have that off your plate, and ultimately that's a scaling play, because if you can then get the business to the point where it's doing that volume and they're doing 80% as well as you are, eventually they'll get to 90 and that sort of thing. But then you've got two people doing double what you could have done, and
Yes.
all that wonderful stuff as well.
You know, the thing is, if you asked anybody in the Freedom Club, anybody who joins the Freedom Club, and you ask the successful ones, everyone's successful, but I mean the ones that have been in a long time, and you ask them, how did you do it? What would be my first thing to do? They would say, hire an amazing assistant, hire an amazing loan partner, because that's the thing that's going to free you up the most.
Yeah.
And that's what Yusef has. And he also has other team members that support each other. And he's part of a bigger umbrella of Landy and Kevin also, that offer amazing support. So he's in with really good people, and he's only been in the business, I think 6 years, 5 or 6 years. And he's young, you know.
Yeah.
So it's amazing what I've seen him do. And have there been times that it's been a little frustrating for him? Of course, that
Yep.
happens. But that's part of the process of living, right? We go through frustrations in life, and sometimes we feel like we're going backwards, but we're really taking leaps forward. We just don't know it yet.
Yeah, no, that's so true. So you mentioned a loan processor. Can you give our listeners just like a brief rundown of the roles and responsibility of what that loan processor does? A good loan processor.
Yes. So a loan processor is the one that takes it from the time that the contract comes in, or the loan partner turns it in with the contract, and then the processor takes it and makes sure it gets to the underwriter as a complete package. They package it up, they make sure all the conditions are in, they double check to make sure everything looks good, and they turn it into the underwriter. And the underwriter approves the loan and then turns it back over to the processor, and then the processor is the one that makes sure it gets to closing, and that the loan moves forward to closing. But that is a really important position. The loan partner, or the loan assistant, some people call it assistant, we like to call them loan partners.
Okay.
They're key in making sure that the loan officer is freed up.
Awesome. Now, I see a lot of loan officers that have a loan processor either provided by the company that they're working for, or they're at that tier where they get one. And I see a lot of the time where the bottleneck between the customer and the loan processor. So in the Freedom Club model, and the model that you're helping your coaching clients with, is the loan processor dealing with the consumer, or does the consumer deal with the loan officer and then the loan officer deals with the processor?
So it depends, because
Okay.
some companies or some loan officers prefer their processor to deal with clients directly. I love that model because I think that the processor can do their job quicker if they can go direct to the consumer.
Yeah.
But not everybody does it that way. Some prefer that their processor doesn't talk to clients so that they can be more freed up to finish everything that they're doing on the back end. And then the loan partner or the loan assistant, or in some cases, the loan officer, because they don't have an assistant yet, is the one that deals directly with the clients. I prefer the model where the processor talks to the clients, but not everybody does. Some people have a processor that doesn't like talking to clients.
Yeah. Yes.
And so they're better off just doing everything on the back end and having somebody else talk to the clients.
Excellent. And now you mentioned another team member there, so the loan officer assistant.
Yes.
Can you give me a breakdown of who that person is, what they do?
Yes. So that's really great on the phone. They're great with people. They're great at communicating. In many cases, some loan partners take the application for the loan officer and they convert the client and get them to say, yes, I want to work with your team. And that is one position. The second loan partner would take it from the time that they say yes and to contract.
Yes.
So there's different roles of a loan partner. In some cases, like when you're first coming into the Freedom Club and if you're closing 4 loans a month, 4 to 6 loans a month, you're going to need a loan partner for sure, but they may take it right from the beginning all the way to the processor.
Yep.
So they may take the application, do everything and get it ready for the processor and then turn it in. So there's several models of how that could work with the loan partner. I know some people I coach, they have what they call a mortgage expert. That person is the one that converts the client, gets them to say yes. They've replaced the loan officer there in that role. They never replace the loan officer, but I'm talking about in that role. That frees up the loan officer to go get more business and not have to worry about talking to all the clients. And then after that, that person either takes it all the way to closing, or they have another person on the team that takes it from the time they say yes and the contract is in all the way to close.
That's amazing. So the loan officer is freeing up all of that time with those people. We're leveraging people to
Yes.
free time. And then the time is spent on the money-making activities so that you can generate more loans so that you can put more processing in place.
Exactly. It's a win-win for everybody. It's a win-win. And sometimes loan officers don't like to get away from talking to the clients. So what they do is they have the loan assistant or the loan partner, they have them set everything up, get it all ready, tee them up, and then the loan officer goes in there and makes that conversion conversation with the client, because they're really good at converting and they love talking to the clients. So it's okay if they want to do that, but they don't have to do all of the other stuff. It still frees them up a lot.
Yeah, that's funny because we've done previous episodes where I've talked to people who really love the packaging of the deal and dealing with the clients, but going out and networking with realtors is like that's their frog that they have to eat. And so we've actually seen members take that loan officer assistant model and put assistants in place to cold call the realtors, book the realtor appointments. We even have people that now have business development reps. Their whole role is meet with the realtor, get the referrals from the realtor. When the referral comes in, then the loan officer is the one who deals with the business. So it's amazing to see how the model of the Freedom Club of what's your freedom? What are the things that you love about the business? Let's get you in that wheelhouse and use the leverage model to go do the things that you don't like to do.
That's it. And that's what I love about how we've created the Freedom Club and how it's evolved and everything, because there are some coaching companies out there that they have a model and that's the model, period. Yep. But we want our people to do what they love to do, like the triad of awesomeness, what they love to do, what makes them money, and what they're great at.
Yeah.
And so we we personalize it to what they want to do. We don't make them do anything. They get to do what they love to do.
Which is absolutely amazing. And man, so much value there. Irene, thank you so much for sharing with us today. Now, if there's somebody out there that has questions or somebody who's looking to grow a team, I know you also do team training where you will actually train the people within the organization as far as the processors and everything. Could you tell us a little bit about that and then tell us how people can reach out to you?
Sure. So I have a company called Loan Team Training, and we train loan partners to how to communicate, how to have processes and systems, and how to talk to people. It's really a communication class, and it teaches them systems and processes as well. And then we also have a client conversion training class, and that teaches the assistants or or even a new loan officer. It teaches them how to convert even better. Yeah. And then we're creating a training course right now for loan partners, and we're calling it Loan Partners Success. We're actually going to teach them how to be a loan partner from A to Z, how to be a loan partner. So that's coming in the end of September.
That is amazing, and all super complimentary to your Freedom Club coaching clients, because a lot of them don't want to do the training to bring the people up to speed on the model and everything.
Yeah, that's been the biggest thing, is people don't have time to train. A lot of people don't want to train. And so we train for them, and that's how it works. And the best way that you could reach me on that is our phone number is, let me see what the business number is so I don't give out my cell number. But it is, I will tell you, our email is Irene and Kevin at Loan Team Training. And let me just get you the business phone number is 480-302-5932. As you can see, I don't call that number very often.
No problem at all. And we will have that in the show notes for all of the listeners today. So head down there, and that's in the show notes. And then again, just a reminder to everyone, if you found value in this episode, please head on over to iTunes, give us a 5-star rating and review. It helps us to get more incredible guests like Irene. And if you found value in this episode, I would love it if you shared it. Go on social media, share this episode, share it with the people in your company, in your organization, send an email out. Let's get this word out to more people in the mortgage industry, because there is a life of freedom and abundance out there when we've got the right systems, when we've got the right processes, and we have the right vision around it. And Irene, I think you did a phenomenal job today of outlaying that for people. So
Thank you. And thanks for doing this podcast, Chris. It helps so many loan officers.
It's my pleasure. And I can't wait to see everybody on the next episode.
All righty. Thank you.
Hey, it's Chris Johnstone. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Loan Officer Wealth Podcast. I hope that you loved it and got incredible value from it. Right now, it's time to head on over to iTunes and leave your 5-star review if you enjoyed this episode. When you do, you will be entered into our monthly draw to receive an Amazon gift card. So go ahead, leave that review today. It also helps us attract top talent and really get incredible interviews lined up for you so that we can share even more value for you. Now, for the show notes and for all of the resources that were mentioned in this episode, you can head on over to loanofficerwealth.com. That's loanofficerwealth.com. You get access to all the show notes from all the episodes, all the past episodes, get notified of new episodes when they drop, and we've also got some very special bonuses for you over on that page when you opt in. So head on over and opt in today, and we look forward to sharing the next episode of the Loan Officer Wealth Podcast with you soon.